Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I can't express that enough. WandaVision episode 8. In full spoilers, we're about to discuss it, guys. So if you guys are new here, and you're clicking on this, and you haven't seen the episode yet, it's time to click right away because we're talking full spoilers over here. And what I need to hear, guys, is what your guys' thoughts were on this episode. Comment down below, let me know your theories, your thoughts, predictions for next week. What the hell is going on? And if you didn't yet, there is an after credit scene in here, so you guys gotta make sure to go back and check that out because it's definitely gonna have some implications for next week. But WandaVision episode 8, I keep wanting to say episode 7, but episode 8 is some of the most emotional stuff we've ever gotten in the entire MCU to date. I am an emotional wreck from watching this episode, but one that absolutely blew me away from every single turn to event. I just cared more about Scarlet Witch or Wanda Maximoff more than I ever did before. I had tears in my eyes, and in multiple occasions, this is the acting power that Elizabeth Olsen can bring about. And Catherine Hahn, phenomenal as well. Let's start with the beginning of this episode because damn, right from the start of this, Agnes comes out. You get to see her past, the Salem witch trials, which again, haunting. This whole entire episode, we've talked about the horror tones throughout this entire show, but this episode very much goes even further into there. Seeing how she kills off her whole coven, and in general, just seeing how strong she is. And really much Agnes Harkness. I was thinking about this. I'm like, I can't believe, if you would have told me 11 years ago when the Marvel Cinematic Universe was starting, that we would be getting Agnes Harkness inside, or Agatha Harkness inside the MCU, I would be telling you, you're crazy, we're never going to get that, but we have her now. And it's phenomenal to me how great of an actress Catherine Hahn really portrays this character, because that's not the casting I would have picked. And it's phenomenal to see how she's bringing this character to life. But again, she wipes out her whole entire coven, very much sticking out how strong of a character Agatha is. And phenomenally, just wonderfully done, might I say. I love this. And thank God this was the longest episode because there was a lot to cover. This very much pulled the full curtain back. We got to know a lot about it. Of course, after that opening sequence, we see her and Wanda having great dialogue. And we very much start to learn a lot about what is going on with Wanda. We learned that Quicksilver, it's not Pietro's dead body. And she did control Pietro with mind control. But that most likely, and I'm going to say this, definitively they didn't come out and say it, but it sounds like she pulled him from somewhere else. And that is the Pietro from the X-Men universe. And I'm just going to say it. I take no other things. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe we'll figure out that next week. I'm hoping next week that we get a full-on Quicksilver scene. We'll find out about that very soon within the week. But I love that whole entire moment with how Agatha Harkness really much started kind of pulling back the curtain, letting you know. And exposition can be exposition, but if it's done well, then it works wonderfully. And I think in this episode, it did it well. Really much her being able to show and take us through every single one of Wanda's moments. And, a lot of people were wondering, why the sitcoms, Wanda? Why the sitcoms? We see that. That was a big part of her childhood when her father had opened up that whole entire box. And we see in there all the different sitcoms. Malcolm in the Middle, Lucy, Bewitched, all sorts of things like that. And then, of course, he pulls out the special one, the Dick Van Dyke Show, which just, again, brought tears to my eyes. I love the Dick Van Dyke Show. But playing out a moment that, for us, we always thought Wanda got her powers from the stone. Same thing with Pietro. So, there's some things to kind of put into there. Did Pietro also does Pietro already have powers, or did he get them from the stone? I don't know, but what this really focuses in on is Wanda herself. And in that moment, the bomb drops, and Wanda does something, and Agatha asks her, hey, did you do a hex to that? She goes, no, the bomb just never went off. Totally, opening our eyes to, again, going to now the Hydra base, which, again, gave me chills in there. Again, the production design here was seamless. It was smooth. It was beautiful. I loved it. And, again, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. What was the creepiest moment for you in this? What was your favorite moment? Did it also break you an emotional wreck? Are you going to be an emotional wreck next week with me when we tune in for that? Hit that like and subscribe button. Don't miss out, guys. I love talking this, and my favorite part is hearing your guys' comments down below. Every morning I wake up and get to go back through and read it. I stay up for you guys to have these discussions, and it's just such a blast. But again, going back, they did such a great job recreating how she looked. Of course, she starts to walk up and the stone comes to her. It opens up. We see this kind of Scarlet Witch figure coming down. I already got goosebumps from there. But of course, it knocks her back. We see a little bit more. They open another door, and they're now at the Avengers base. Talking about it, this is Avengers base, really much discussing and seeing Vision and her. It seems like this happened right after Age of Ultron. And for me, that one touching thing, both of them are very much alone in this instance because she's lost Quicksilver and he's new to the world. But for some reason, they are joined together because she touched that stone, and that stone is what's keeping him alive. Beautiful in that empowerment, but I love seeing how that worked, and that just subtle thing. For me, if I would have seen that scene back in Civil War, Age of Ultron, that would have hinted at that relationship already. But seeing how that relationship was already building right there just melted my heart and broke me even more, thinking that goddamn Vision is dead and Scarlet Witch now has, or Wanda Maximoff now has to deal with that. But of course, we go to one more flashback, and it's the one that we've been interested in because Hayward says that Wanda took the body. We find that out. She didn't take the body. So where the fuck is that body coming from? How, we find out that she makes him from her own essence, but what's Hayward's endgame? We see it in the end credit scene, which we'll talk to, but why did he lie about that? How is he tracking this video? There's so many damn questions I still have, but of course, we see her kind of going about. She goes to the sword base. She very much, it opens up, she breaks the glass, goes down, but she doesn't take the body. And just seeing how her frustration, her sadness, and everything of that nature. But then she drives to Westview. We see all the people that we've seen around town. Not Dottie, though. We didn't see Dottie. We saw everyone else, but no Dottie. So who the hell's Dottie? And we're still figuring that out. I don't know. But, she goes to that building ground thing, and she opens up the thing, and where you can grow old. V. I almost cried. I think I did cry a little bit, actually. No lies. I was an emotional wreck right there. Because again, losing someone, that's tough. And I'm a sap when it comes to these type of love stories, and I think Marvel's really much built this relationship. And I had just watched Endgame and Infinity War, and seeing the emotion from her and Vision, and they're just it was built beautifully. But in that moment, she drops to the ground, and every time we've seen Wanda grief like this, she breaks down. We saw it when Quicksilver died, and we've seen it in other instances. But this is the most powerful. She's the most powerful being, well, probably right next to Agatha, or Agnes, or whatever. I'm gonna call her whatever the hell I want. She got multiple names to me. But of course, she drops down, blows up, builds the house, but lets out another field of energy that completely wraps the town. And that's where, Vision comes right out of her. And she brought Vision back to life in a different essence that lives in the Hex. And Agatha's looking at her, ending like this stuff, and of course then she disappears. Wanda runs out, her kids are being held like Pinocchio strings. No strings on me. Are we gonna see Ultron? I know there's some theories out there, some great ones as well. Pulling the kids back, and Agatha, whatever, she looks so menacing in that moment, holding them back, and then of course she mentions and name drops the Scarlet Witch. And that's where it cuts to, please stand by, and I hate that moment every week, but please stand by, damn it! Pulling the kids back, totally holding them in and harnessing them. And then I knew there was going to be an end credit scene because last week I had one. I'm like, why wouldn't this one have it? And it does. And we see Hayward. It's the only other character we didn't see. We didn't see Monica. We didn't see Quicksilver. We didn't see Vision. We didn't see Darcy. We didn't see our great Agent Wu. But what we see is Hayward dealing with this and saying, I now have the ability to bring him back. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's going to be Vision, right? It's going to be Vision. It's going to be Vision. It's going to be... And it was a different Vision. More blue type like. Kind of giving me some Ultron vibes in it. I know Ultron's red, but it's a little iffy in that moment. I don't know. But of course, they bring him back to life. He turns on, and that's going to definitely come to the finale for next week. And from what I'm assuming, next week will probably be the longest episode, just as much as this one was. I think this one was around 47 minutes with credits. Next week's episode hopefully is longer because, again, there's still a lot of questions. At this point, I'm kind of wiping away the Mephisto stuff. I don't think Mephisto is even a part of this anymore. Maybe he shows up in the finale as kind of a tease because we still don't know what that giant cameo is that Paul Bettany is talking about. It's not Doctor Strange. That's my other theory, is that Doctor Strange also shows up probably in the end credit scene for next week's episode. I don't think, maybe the very end of the episode, but in general, I think Doctor Strange does show up in that one. But Who's going to be that big cameo that Paul Bettany talks about? Could it be like Al Pacino's Mephisto? I don't know. I'm still going with the thing that I think Magneto's in this. I think Magneto's in the show. I don't know though, because all my theories are completely wrong. Like, this show completely took a different turn, and I think next week's episode is going to be more of the action-heavy Agatha versus Scarlet Witch versus Vision. So many different mixes going about, and I'm so excited for you guys to join me next week. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as comment down below your theories. What do you think is going to happen next week? Which Easter eggs did I forget to miss? We didn't get any commercials this week, but I think this kind of goes to say is that each of those commercials kind of had a throwback to the Infinity Stones. There were 7 of them, or 7 commercials maybe? Yeah, 7 commercials, and I saw some theories how each one really was a part of the Infinity Stone. I could be completely wrong on that. I don't know. I know there was like 6 of them, but I don't know. Maybe that theory is completely wrong. I just wanted to bring it up because I know a lot of you guys were talking about it last week. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for clicking on this. You guys are still the best. Hit that like, subscribe, and comment down below. And of course, I'll see you guys next week for the finale of WandaVision, where I will be debuting my Winter Soldier and Falcon shirt that I bought because I'm excited for that show too. So of course, until next time, stay classy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my... Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh